Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be focusing on ways to save money. This could apply to anyone throughout the world, any age group, any income status. As long as you're making money, this is a video for you that you can really take in and think about just ways to save money. So without any further ado, let's get straight to the first point. So the first point I want to get to you guys is, where's your money safe? Some people like putting their money in the bank, some people like keeping their money in their house, some people like giving their money to their parents so they can hold it. But what I mean by this is literally as it sounds. Where's your money safe? Are you gonna be tempted to spend your money just because you have it on you and it's convenient to spend it? Or do you need to be, does your money need to be isolated away from you in a way to speak, so that way you don't have access to spend it all at once, or even just to spend it all within a certain time period, right? It's okay to spend money on certain things. You gotta be able to defer, you know. I'll get into that later. But you know what I'm saying? You just gotta know where your money's safe, where your money can be handled properly, as well as where you are comfortable in keeping your money in a way or in a spot that you know you're not gonna be spending it in stupid ways. So next, we're gonna be moving on, defining wants between needs. So wants obviously is when you go to the store, you see something that you really like and then you want to pick it up. You know, you want to cop it, it looks nice, you see maybe it's something trending, you got to pick it up. But what you're really not thinking of in your head is a different way of thinking as well when it comes to money. Can that object make you money, or can that object put you forward, right? Needs is something obviously like, you know, you go to the store, you got to cook something tonight, there's nothing home, you got to get some food, right? That's more of a need, that's more of an essential thing to do, right? So when it comes to wants in between or wants versus needs, you got to know the difference, right? You got to be able to defer the difference. Going to the store for toilet paper shouldn't mean that you end up coming out with 10 candy bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be giving in to these little things that later is just gonna add up and put you backwards, right? You gotta always be prepared to take steps forward, and that's little ways of going about things. You gotta understand the principle of what you don't see or what doesn't exist to you will not hurt you, right? If you never go down that candy aisle, you'll never end up spending the money on the candy in the first place, right? Now, no matter how many, you know, bad outcomes the candy could have for you, you simply didn't even spend the money on the candy for it to get to that. You see what I'm saying? That's just one example, but that's one thing I definitely wanted to cover as a second point in this video, so that way you guys can kind of touch base on that topic yourselves. All right, so for point number 3, what I want to go over is working smarter and not harder. People don't always realize, right? You got to make the money first before you save it. But in order to save the money, some people need enough money to be able to save it, right? So here's a little method to put in your head towards making the money in a better way. I guess you could put it this way. So working smarter and not harder. Millionaires, they tend to, you know what I'm saying? They tend to have this little philosophy here. You've got to know how to make more money in a lesser amount of time than to make more money in more hours. You see what I'm saying? What I mean by this, working a 9-to-5 job and working more hours there to make more money. Now, that does get you more money, but it's not gonna put you in a bracket where you may essentially wanna, you know what I'm saying? Where you could just relax and not have to worry about this and that, right? If you make more money in a lesser amount of time, it simply becomes easier for you to master the craft of making money, as well as being able to utilize your time to do other things. It could even be making more money, but at the end of the day, you'll have a lot more time in your day that you can't buy, but you're simply just using your time better and more wisely, and you're making more money out of it, right? Using more time to do better things and using less time to make more money, if y'all understand what I'm saying there. That's point number 3. So, and the final one I'm gonna go over is buying food, right? So I know I used an example earlier with buying food and such. That's more of an essential type thing. But what I'm talking about here is impulse buying. One of the #1 things I've came across out of, you know, my years, I guess pretty much throughout high school up to now, people spend the most money on impulse buying food. And it's so simple, but it adds up over time. Granted, there's people that within a year will spend thousands of dollars on food that they don't actually have needed, or the food maybe just wasn't good for them, or they could have just prepared a meal at home, packaged it up and brought it to work or even to school. You know what I'm saying? That's a big factor towards you having, you know, a lot saved up in the future, or you staying the same, or just having a little bit crawling up, you know, as time passes through. You've got to be able to defer whether your stomach is just telling you that you want that food because you're craving it, or if you actually need to buy it when you're out, or if you could wait till you get home to make something, cook something up then. And on top of that, if you're buying foods, you got to be able to look at the pricing. You got to be able to see if the food's actually good for you, right? You've got to factor a lot of perspectives in when it comes to spending money. And food will take over your whole mindset. Like, it will drive you. I'm telling you, I've heard it many times before. People spend hundreds, people spend thousands on food. And obviously we need food to grow, right? We need food to live. Simple as that. But just because you're out with your friends doesn't mean you gotta go out to eat as well. You could simply go home and then make your meal there, or just go home to the leftovers that were cooked the day before, right? It doesn't always have to end up in making the rich richer by buying something when you're outside. So yeah, that's pretty much the last thing I wanted to touch base on there. So I hope this video helped y'all out. These are little things that I picked up along the way. So I hope this video could help some people out. Definitely put them in a higher place in the future towards, you know, saving money and success is there. But yeah, that's about it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like. Make sure to turn on post notifications, subscribe, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Prove them. Later.